There's a wildfire burning right next to one of the busiest mountain passes in the entire Pacific Northwest, and it's been showing some of the most aggressive fire behavior of any fire in Washington state right now, group torching, flanking, and backing simultaneously. This is the Three Queens Fire, burning just 6 miles from Snoqualmie Pass, the mountain corridor that carries Interstate 90 between Seattle and eastern Washington. It started quietly from a lightning strike back in July, smoldered for weeks with barely any growth, and has now exploded into one of the more genuinely volatile fire stories in the entire state. Let's break down exactly what's happening, how a quiet fire turned dangerous. The Three Queens Fire was sparked by lightning on July 15th, burning in high-elevation subalpine fir stands above Lake Kachess in the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest, roughly 6 miles east of Snoqualmie Pass in Kachess County. For its first several weeks, this fire did almost nothing. It essentially smoldered on the landscape, staying small enough that it barely registered outside the immediate area. That changed dramatically earlier this month. Brisk winds hit the fire and, over a single 48-hour period, more than tripled its size, growing it from around 800 acres to nearly 2,500 acres. A spot fire also ignited during those gusty conditions on the east side of the northern end of Lake Kachess, adding a second front for crews to manage. That sudden surge prompted new evacuation orders across the surrounding area, a Level 3 Go Now order for homes and cabins around Cooper Lake, a Level 2 Get Set notice for residents and recreationists west of Salmon-La-Sac and east of Lake Kachess, and a Level 1 Be Ready advisory for structures on the west side of Lake Kachess. The growth has continued. Since that initial surge, this fire has kept growing steadily. By the following week, it had passed 6,700 acres, still burning toward Cooper Lake. Field Operations Section Chief Whitney Machado, with Incident Management Team 13, described the ongoing work simply: "We are continuing to build and strengthen our primary containment lines. As of the most recent update, the fire sits at approximately 7,258 acres. There's genuinely encouraging news buried in that number, though. Containment has climbed to 13%, a real jump after weeks of sitting at 0. Officials say the fire's location on steep, unstable terrain has been consistently challenging, but improved weather conditions in recent days have finally let crews start making real inroads on corralling the flames. 911 personnel are now assigned to this fire, along with multiple apparatus and suppression aircraft. Local fire departments have joined the effort too, including crews from Roslyn, Cle Elum, Snoqualmie, and Kachess Fire District 7, working alongside federal and state resources. Why this fire is so hard to contain. Crews have made specific tactical moves to try to get ahead of this fire's difficult terrain. A task force was established at Cooper Pass specifically to thin, dense stands of trees and clear woody debris, reducing the fuel available before the fire reaches that area. Control lines have been constructed along the corridor connecting Forest Service Road 120 to Lake Kachess, and crews have continued fine-tuning proposed containment lines while coordinating directly with private landowners in the area. Structure preparation work in the Salmon-La-Sac area has been completed, with protective measures already in place in case fire activity shifts toward that community, but the weather keeps working against steady progress. Officials have warned that humidity drops are expected to bring unstable conditions, with winds weakening and then shifting through the day, exactly the kind of abrupt shift that can drive sudden increases in fire behavior, even on a fire that's been trending in a more positive direction. Not the only fire near Snoqualmie Pass. It's worth knowing that Three Queens isn't burning alone in this area. A round of lightning storms moved through Kachess County and sparked 2 additional fires over the same general period. The Goat Fire, the newest of the group, ignited north of the small community of Roslyn and has already prompted its own evacuations. The King Fire, first reported a few days before Goat, has grown past 580 acres. Whitney Machado summed up just how much lightning activity the region absorbed in a short window. Washington received about 400 lightning strikes, and numerous fires started from there. Windy conditions compounded the challenge across all 3 fires simultaneously, along with elevated fire weather more broadly across the area that weekend. With 3 separate, actively growing fires burning close together in the same county, crews and resources across Kachess County have been genuinely stretched, even as each individual fire has its own dedicated command and containment strategy. Roads, trails, and recreation impacts. The scale of closures connected to this fire has been substantial. 36 trails are currently closed within the affected area, including a stretch of the Pacific Crest Trail running from Snoqualmie Pass to Deception Pass. A genuinely significant closure for a trail that draws hikers from across the entire West Coast during peak summer season. 30 Forest Service roads and 48 recreation sites are also closed. The Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest issued a formal closure order covering the area, and officials have directed the public to the Kachess County Sheriff's Office Facebook page for the complete, current list of affected trails, roads, and sites. Air quality has also been a real concern for communities well beyond the immediate fire perimeter. Kachess County has been under an air quality alert due to wildfire smoke, with particulate matter reaching unhealthy levels for sensitive groups in areas directly downwind of the fire, especially overnight and in the early morning hours. What to do right now? If you're anywhere near Cooper Lake, Salmon-Lasac, or Lake Kachess, check the Kachess County evacuation map directly for your specific status. Level 3, 2, and 1 evacuation orders remain active across different parts of this area, and given how unstable weather conditions have continued to be, don't assume your zone's status from a few days ago is still current. If you're planning any recreation near Snoqualmie Pass, check current trail and road closures before you go. With 36 trails and 30 forest roads closed, including a stretch of the Pacific Crest Trail, plans made even a week ago may no longer be valid. And if you're downwind of the fire in Kachess County, keep an eye on air quality alerts, particularly overnight and in early morning hours when particulate levels tend to peak. A fire that spent weeks quietly smoldering before tripling in size in just 2 days, now burning aggressively next to one of the region's busiest mountain corridors, with 2 sibling fires sparked by the same storm system burning nearby. The Three Queens fire is a genuine reminder of how quickly a seemingly minor, slow-moving fire can turn into one of the more volatile stories of the entire season. We'll keep tracking this fire and bring you the next update as new official data comes in. If this helped, subscribe and turn on notifications, and share this with anyone you know near Snoqualmie Pass or Kachess County. To every firefighter working this fire right now, thank you. Stay informed, stay ready, and stay safe out there.